come and stay with us so that whatever we go very well. And we have a right honorable reverend here that will lead us in a special prayer because today is a special day. So and I am inviting Reverend Ngozi to help us with that. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Ọ bụ n'aha Jizọs. Ezi Chineke nke eluigwe, nna anyị nke onye ebere, anyị na-ekele gị ekele na ihe ọma ị na-emere anyị. Makasị ndị Igbo nọ na London, anyị na-ekele gị ekele otu isi na-eme ka anyị na-eme ọfụma na ụzọ dị iche iche. Ekele dịrị gị n'aha Jizọs. Ugbu a, anyị dị ka ndị nọ na mgbe ụmụ Israel nọ ezite ozi to Nehemaya si lee otu Jerusalem nọ mgbe ụfọdụ obi ha ala mmiri. Onye nwe anyị ma otu obi anyị nọ gbasara ihe na-eme n'ụlọ, ekwute okwu ụlọ, ekwute okwu ụmụnne anyị, obi anyị mgbe ụfọdụ na-ala mmiri. But anyị na-arịọ gị Chineke, na-ekele gị ekele n'ebe Soludo na ndị niile na-achị na Anambra steeti nọ. Ka ị were obi umeala nye ha otu ha si na-achị, ka ị werekwa egwu gị tinye ha n'obi. Nwanne anyị nwoke anyị ma ọfụma Ernest bịara ka ọ gwa anyị ihe na-eme onye nwe anyị. Were ya kasị anyị obi n'aha Jizọs. Were ihe niile anyị ga-anụ na mgbede a ma nke ọma ma otu o si eme ma ihe niile dị struggling ha na-aga through, onye nwe anyị biko were ya kasị anyị obi ka anyị mara otu anyị ga-esi nyekwara na ha aka. Mana ọ wụrụbedo ekpere nkịtị ka anyị ga na-ekpe Chineke nna anyị biko mee ka ọganihu soro ha n'aha Jizọs. Mee ka ọganihu soro ezinụlọ ha. Kama nwanne anyị nwoke nọkwa n'ebe a na ndị ikwu na ibe ya nọkwa ebe a, onye nwe anyị biko mee ka ọ dịrị ha na mma n'aha Jizọs. Mee ka ọ dịrị ndị Igbo niile mma n'aha Jizọs. Nara ekele onye nwe anyị na ihe niile anyị ga-eme na mgbede a ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-ebutere gị obi ụtọ na obi aṅụrị. N'aha Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Thank you very much, Reverend. It was a nice one. And I want to specifically mention that Igbo speaking is allowed. English is also allowed. Whichever language is better for you, just use that. We will introduce ourselves. But we are going to start from our visitor, Ernest. And then from there, we will go to where he gets and then other people. And by the way, my name is George. I travel all the way from Camberwell, South. From Anambra State, Soludo.
Yeah. Anambra Kanemo. Ernest Ezeajughi. Former councillor here in Brent and former mayor as well, about my local borough. Then recently appointed as chief of staff to the governor of Anambra State, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma, Soludo. So I'm alone in Anambra. Can't have a good year now.
No.
Chief Patrick Mokwe. amụrụ m na Nnewi.
Ụmụ Igbo ekele m unu. Afọ mbụ Chief David nke a na-etu ogbu efife yọrọ mma na Nnewi. Abụ m onye Nnewi. Ọ bụ nke ọha nọ
ndị be anyị ekele m ọ nara nnukwu ekele ebe a afọ mbụ Ogochukwu Nwosu afọ otutu m nwa Chinemelụ aka m Chinechichi mana aka wafọ otutu onye Nnewi ji ka nwụọ aka m anọ m na ebi m na Rochester
Biko ka anyị na-egbu ike
ebe anyị ekelekwa m afọ m bụ Sadozie Nwachukwu ahụ bụ onye Nnewi ana m emechi
Igbo ekele m unu. Afọ m Prince Lotanna Chima enyi Nnewi, Chairman Emeritus Nnewi Community Association of Great Britain and Ireland, and the President Emeritus Anambra State United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Akenekwa m unu.
Imo State, Anambra the name of course, we have the boundary between Mbidi and from Mbidi.
No.
Thank you.
First in charge of this church.
All my priests, because okay, when I found the former I'm my priest as well, and I worship in this church.
Because the Lord have found by the church book. I'm going to say, if you want to UK NCP, because
The last but not least.
Right. Then, because kids I cannot to say thank you very much for squeezing out the time out of your very busy schedule. I need to be able to how every hour is very, very important. So first thing is to thank you for making our time to be here. I mean, as I introduced, I'm a local resident here in Brent, for many years. I've been a councillor here, I've been a mayor, and I've also been very active in the local community. Brent Nigeria Association, I was Afghan UK chairman. I chaired Anambra Vision 2070, which covers UK and Europe. I was the Director General for Soludo campaign in the last election in diaspora. So I think it's a good brief. So in March, I was appointed as Chief of Staff to Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Soludo. So I've joined in the rebuilding of Anambra State. And as I said to some people who initiated this, okay, yes, this is my local constituency. This is my local, before now, so so the state of Anambra State. Can also to my principal, Professor Charles Soludo, for the opportunity to serve in the Anambra, Banye, and with challenges, a lot of challenges, and those difficult challenges we are lucky to get Professor Charles Soludo as the governor of Anambra State at this critical time. We all know about the security of not only in the nation, in our state. You know, it's been a very tough and difficult situation in terms of security for years. But I may inherit from March 17th, MLA inaugurate. I think it gets worse as days goes by. Then I follow Anambra State. During the election, there were some areas in the campaign. Here, for instance, majority of Anambra South Senatorial Zone, especially here, some part of Agrata, election because of insecurity, kidnapping. So I think when we assumed the office, that was the first critical area, Mr. Governor, so that we have to get it right. So, you know, the rhetoric said then. So, only the point so the government actually started on the security situation. Kidnapping becomes a big business in Anambra State. Camps. Camps all over the state. A big one no budget. A big one no. A big one no. And some sides of Oba, you know. So well, camps everywhere. Recently, one came on Ukeojo taxis. So they becomes so difficult when you even at the state unless you get the security situation right. So Mr. Governor invested time, energy, resources, and well, security architect, police, army, my local vigilante. On my own say popular thing nowadays, human there are so you work one day then down. So they call the goal. So we took it head on to make sure Anambra State will live a livable and prosperous homeland. Amen. You cannot develop any place without getting the security. All these things. So we started, and I can authoritatively tell you that even Anambra State, the hotspots are because before now, if you want to do wedding, you do it in Lagos. If you want to do traditional marriage, you do it in Lagos or Sabah, you know, outside Anambra State. And that's not Anambra State we know. Never any Anambra can wear the. So there are big challenges. But the new government taking it as one of the critical areas In fact, in one of the areas we declared as emergency, the government declared emergency on security, emergency on waste, so that, and the emergency on roads. Because if you're regular in the state, don't know where you come from, how bad or how good your road that leads to your community. So these are critical areas, Mr. Governor. Then we have priorities everywhere. If you look at the pillars in infrastructure, in rule of law, in education, so you cannot do one without the other one. And we're having sleepless nights, working hard to get these things right. So as I said, in security, we've almost get most of the camps. We've destroyed the camps in Oboji, we've destroyed the camps in Soludo, and all these areas. I mean, all of us watch the social media regularly. So you probably before it's happening, before some people in Anambra, you've already said it. So, it's just to buttress the seriousness of the government. Mr. Governor has always said, Nande Anambra may advertise the job. He applied for it. The Anambra shortlist, he won the election. So, to do the work, he prepared himself. I'm not sure, possibly you've seen his manifesto, his contract with Anambra, and we are following it diligently. We are following it very, very careful to make sure we delivered on those promises. So as I said, security, becomes, I think since March, the Mukro have taken the first 3 months trying to get to where we are today. And, if at Anambra now, you can confidently go down to there are still remnants of these guys. But the point is that, to be honest, these are criminal gangs doing business. When the security agents got to Oboji camp, they have a size book, they have printers, they've got everything. It's just like a bookkeeping. Got Mr. A on this date. How much? The bargain may be 10 million. Mr. A has paid 5 million. Balance 5 million. No. If you see the ledger, it's a book, it's an excise book. So the point, there's no way that state we are going where we are today if not for the effort and sleepless night of Mr. Governor. So it's now to sustain that tempo, to consolidate on the achievements on security, and that's where we are. We've got the vigilantes, the state vigilante that works with the police, with the army, and it has been working very well. Actually, when the administration started, one of the key ministry Mr. Governor created was the Ministry of Homeland Security. So it's a fresh, brand new ministry. So their core job is to make sure that Anambra State is secure. We have hotline numbers, 5 of them, 7 of them now. If you see it, report it. If you're here, you hear that something is happening in Sumo or in Sofia or Obu, the best thing is to report it on those 5 hotlines. If you have not seen it, I will share the 5 hotlines. Because sometimes with the internet, you even see it before somebody who is in the village who is struggling to get data. You can report it, and our security agents will, take action immediately. So that's on security. We've done a lot on revenue. We did the state. We had a supplementary budget. We inherited the previous administration budget, then we did a new supplementary budget. In that budget, which was the tune of 170 billion. But The critical thing to mention in this, that budget is 64% of that budget is for capital projects. Because Anambra State is like, just like many new states. They are not new, 30 years, 32-year-old state. But you see, we are still looking like a virgin place. We've not done anything, we've not started. So, 64% of budget. Normally, you see most states or most budgets, they have higher percentage on recurrent, where, freebie things of computer, cars, and things. But 64% was committed for projects, infrastructures, capital projects, because this will now create jobs. If we create jobs, we get people to pay tax. So that is how it's. That's how it happens. If you have those capital, if you build a factory, for instance, people are going to work there. If you say teaching hospital, people will work there. And people can easily pay their tax and they enter bus or kada, money will be exchanging hands. So that's, I think many people commended this budget because of how it was structured. So there's no freebie for government officers or government workers to want to change jobs, you want to change computer, you want to paint this. So the shopping basket for Anambra was this kind of thing. I'm gonna get good roads, I'm gonna get water, I'm gonna get electricity. And that is the thinking of this government. As I said, we are looking at make Anambra a livable and prosperous homeland. You want to come home instead of people moving out of Anambra to other states. We want people to come back to Anambra State. If we get, as we are getting security right, and we have to get the infrastructure. If you come to Onitsha now, everybody in Onitsha is living in Asaba. And from Asaba coming to a market in Onitsha. Onitsha used to be a glorious, I remember the largest market in West Africa.
That's right, yes.
I still know Onitsha. I don't think we still have that. If proper analysis, they do proper analysis, we may not have that status again. Because everything is moving. So Onitsha Muslim, So now, how do we resurrect Onitsha before we Asaba? So Onitsha, because nothing works. Out, no roads, If you come, and also we don't work in Anambra at the moment. We don't work on Mondays. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. No work. How can the state survive if you remove 3 days out of the 7 days? While other states that go out on our Lord for 5 days. So how can our children compete with states that go to school Monday to Friday? We go to school only Tuesday to Friday. So there are generally a lot of decays, a lot of things to do. So maybe we are getting all those things right. With the security situation at hand, will not always look. They don't go to that. It's not like Anambra thing. Entrepreneurship, business. Then you now say Sunday here joke and Monday here job. That's not Anambra we know. So and that is where the new government is working extremely hard to get these things back to normal. On education. I can bet you some, if you go check very well in your town, villages, you see some roof, some classrooms saying roof. Again, how can they compete with the world? So we are now recruiting teachers because some of these schools don't have good teachers or don't have teachers at all. So we're doing recruitment of 5,000 teachers, which will now go into these schools because we want best for our children. So that process is ongoing. I think it's nearly finishing now. But that's one of the best, you have to go to the first exam, you have to attend to certain percentage before you go to this next. It's like susceptibility test we do here. Do the first one, you do the second one. I think the second set that went to oral interview, at least you have to have 55 to 60%. So because we want to get the best, we want to get quality teachers to teach our children. Because that is why in Anambra and every state actually, private schools, proliferation of private schools. It's not bad, but we want to have a competition from the local school. My kids say they go to local school. Yes, we want to have, if you don't want, it won't be a force that you have to go to private school in order to attend that education. So the government, this government is doing to make sure we have either mission school or state school that is competitive with private schools. So that's why this massive recruitment of teachers. Okay, and education. Environment. Also, we declared a state of emergency in West. I think people have said that we saw you at Amisha, when we did cleanup. So, but the point, you will stand in one side of the street, you will not see a 4-story building on the other side of the street. That's mountain of refuse. Yes, I think one of the areas, Ochanja, there's a traffic light showing green traffic light, and obviously the mountain of refuse, cars don't go, legs don't even go, but the traffic light will be changing green, amber, and red. It's mountain of refuse. So, but if you go to Onitsha today, they're all clear, because that's one of the places we say state of emergency on West. We have about 32 contractors consistently doing the kind of thing Violia. That's it. So these are critical things that, like I said, the cleanliness is next to godliness. Obviously, if you're following Anambra news, Okpoko slum becomes one of the cardinal places Mr. Governor wants to make sure that we have to get it right. So he was inaugurated on the 17th of March. On 18th of March, he was at Okpoko. A stretch of Okpoko. I don't know, Boduku, people who know Okpoko very well. It's a swamp. But these are forgotten places. Again, these are a key area we have to, out of our 220 kilometer roadway earmarked for repairs, not repairs, for construction. It takes a good chunk of it. So that shows the seriousness of the government. We don't want to neglect any area. I think there's a slogan that party big budget. critically written. Then which are the transition committee, which almost all of us, so many people, intellectuals, business community, Manda Anambra, Manda Anambra. So it's a working document to use. Then we have quick wins on that. Okay, Melly. Is used palm oil, palm days to develop eastern states. So we're going back to that. $1 million coconuts, 1 million palm kernel, palm oil is going to the villages, communities, and if you are, I'll share the break. If you have 10 coconuts now, in the next 4 years, all now I'm going to say, wow, we need the example. So how prepared and how the interest of the government to Anambra. So I won't know an email more join them aware of this agroeconomy. Our Commissioner for Agri, Dr. Foster, is working round the clock. Must have it. Because we know the that's a lot of job to do. But I was saying on a government here. It's a collective effort. One phone call, you know, say, hey, in a government. So, but in CoS, that's a big one that we need your help. The revenue drive, all these things are needed. I bet the money is well there. You pay tax, I pay tax. I pay tax. You know, council tax, whatever tax you pay here is tax. Tax is tax everywhere. Also, buying can't have tax. You know, only in a green bean, I don't know your borrow. In a green bean, you pay extra £60 for green bean. Collect your grass. Yes, it's optional. But obviously, your council tax is non-negotiable. So, people don't pay anything. So, but now, I can snare back on you. We have been talking to Ndigwe, churches, community leader, PGs. People have to pay tax. It could be keke before. They have a way of paying their daily contribution. Because before this new government, or maybe Mr. A, Nakawala and the Keke returns. Mr. B Nagola gonna park in the expressway without any cars. No, we don't want it. Now you have to pay it, so it goes to the government. We pay through POS because we want to have a strong Anambra internal generated revenue. Because now money has to come from somewhere. So now one of the new innovation, every month you pay your 15,000. The next month, you put up on 3 months, just like what we do on road tax. You get a bit of reduction. The same thing, shuttle buses. So this is the innovation, the critical to us, and that's why we are also working very hard to have internet access, so people can sit at the comfort of their bed or their chair and pay. So why I'm hammering on revenue? Lagos State every month, Lagos makes about 40 billion. Yes, a month. The Anambra at the moment, we are just struggling about 1.7, 1.8 billion. So in a year, we'll be looking at making what Lagos is making in a month. And tomorrow you complain that Lagos are Makaleki are going. Yeah, but people pay for their refuse. I won't need the Lagos, man. I want to need the Lagos. Answer. Refuse, you have to pay. Here receipt. Buy money now over West. So we have to build this momentum and talk to our people. When you learn with so many people, president of town unions here. Go back to our meetings here. I've chaired the Obu community here. I was a member of OADC. I was a member of Orumba. So let's take this message back. Let's take this message because this message goes back. When you don't know, it makes a lot of difference. The same thing kind of when they go and so, but we need to sensitize our people that we have to raise this money to get roads, to get water, to get electricity. So, on health, again, it's something everywhere. Even a general hospital will be only 2 doctors and maybe few handful of nurses. And each general hospital serves so many localities. Maybe only 2 doctors. How on earth can that 2 doctors work with? So, what is government? We've done recruitment of nurses and doctors to ramp up the number of doctors and nurses we have in this general hospital. Because if private hospitals can thrive and succeed, come on, why cannot our general hospital work? So we are recruiting a significant number of nurses, doctors, optometrists, dentists, so that we get a good health general hospitals. So, Anambra Anambra.
You know the road map.
So Anambra we have to work with the government, investors, because that's another key area. Now Anambra many industries, industries left, right, and center. And we cluster of those kind of things. The revenue in there will be there. Though now, we don't have erosion has taken almost a chunk of land in Anambra State. Let's make use of it. Lagos, Anambra were almost the same land mass. But Lagos, the advantage is that filling in ocean with sand and build. But our own is that the erosion is depleting our land. I was opportune to take the United Nations coordinator, Matthias Skemmer, to the major sites. We went to Lanka, we went to Oko, and the one at Obu. The China people and the other people are saying, why not? It's public. We know the statistics about 1,000 erosion sites, active erosion sites, in Anambra State. Active, you know, so all of them, we have work to do. We need money to do this work. We need investors, not just real investors that will bring value to the Anambra State. So it's a call. I mean, we've seen how things work. As I said, how we don't cancel on Brent. Raw man. On your man, Wembley, 10 years ago. It's Wembley now. That's now. I was at Wembley. So that is what we are looking at. Because immediately you get it right. Jobs. Come and register. We will help you. We'll get you jobs. We put you into something meaningful. We will help you. Who's a kidnapping? So, I think I probably have touched some areas. I've mentioned power and water resources. I've mentioned agri and what we are doing about palm and coconut economy, transport. Again, transport is critical in any development. It will be good to see a rail connecting Onitsha to Nnewi to Oka and upcoming Ekulobia and the airport. So again, it's gonna happen. Okay. It will happen. So Anambra, they come to our businessmen, successful businessmen. And we are trying to encourage, we are encouraging them as much as we can. Governor may use innocent cars. At least. No. Abacha from Umunze. So it's local. In a governor, Mr. Governor, look at his what he Akwete. And when I want textile industry in Anambra State, Akwete, how can Abiaka in Borotelia? Akwete, Abiaka only say go to Akwete. Why can't we have textile industry in Anambra State? So if you have one, bring the investor. Yes, so we can provide one, depending. I want investors. That's the only way that state will thrive. So yes, so that is critical about what we serve in Anambra State. The public function in government lodge and government house, it has to be made in Anambra. Oh yeah, it's made in Anambra. I've mentioned about the digital tribe. We want to digitalize Anambra State. So that it'll be easy for all these things we are saying. It has to be that way. And it also saves money and income. As I said, comfort of your house. That is the Anambra we want to see. And I think I'll probably leave it there. But before I say it, I will also mention that I think in the last Tuesday, the 2nd, the new the transition chairman. We now have transition chairman in all the local governments. You know, there's no need to centralize everything from our country. We want to get things to the grassroots. And they must, if you look at the makeup of these guys, young, vibrant, and menaya and Kagwata local government. Must be in his early 20s. Young and vibrant. Yes. So I think I read a comment somewhere. This government really want to get rid of old politicians. We have to inject new. It's just about saying discrimination. It's not about discrimination. It's about bringing new ideas. It's a digital governor. It's a digital state. So you look at what I'm wearing. Solution is here. So in Anambra State, I think Mr. Governor wears this every time. Just everybody in the cabinet. Because we believe that within that cabinet, within the people in government, within all the Anambra, the solution is where? It's here. And you need to hit China or Japan. The solution is within Anambra State. But we have to be committed. So my final is will be, let's work together. Let's support the government. I mean, as I mentioned before about the goodwill of the governor, I think probably 18th of March, UNDP donated 250 million, if I don't probably right, 200 or 250 million thousand. Sorry, I need to get my figure right on that one for clearing of Okoko. Yes, they donated $50,000. Yeah, $250,000 US dollars to help Anambra State to clear Okoko. And that's just a drop in the ocean. So there'll be more. So because Anambra, all of them. But all one of them, I'll be very happy. So then, mother never governor. All one you need, Bakaka, well, San Meme, all of us encourage, especially Fugulu, the other ways of how things work perfectly well. So we want the ideas, we want the help, we want the feedback, we want the criticism as well. Because if you criticize the government, then so I will leave it there and maybe take one or two comments, questions if they need be. Darling, thank you.
Three questions from here and then two questions from online.
Yes.
Any name?
I'm going to have one night, Macanam. Who up on other near Maca. Because now go say, now you were mad. Can our governor go why? I want to know, but I used to know. Man, I one night go say, now I am so well over that. Because a guy in Plan over that every month, I will Belengo. So I went like an cookie for the Nima all the way about they're here. You go to Anambra there, I am. When I do say, can we fade the key factor or Kaya wounding on Oboda? Me. Kembo Bona. And when Molania or Borona. One night, so near Ayaka. Ogla and a Kenya, I wouldn't know here. I know here, see, I Jack Ubo. 9 years with Jack Ubo. Because now my organization sign was labor. I will keep that swearing on to cut £1,000. I get over do category never Jack Ubo in the Anambra, the United Kingdom. Never back I and Hakubo. All in your estate. See, I be a new plan I can't work. I law. I want when you get to Cotego. I had a mayor. So I'm on the American mayor. And I said, government in your life. And I do that's Nanya. No, I buy or do two on I want on why. I don't know about the community. Say I buy the meeting. I wait. Forgot the head. I have to Cotego. But I'm not going to Oboda. I am. maka na ebe anyị nọ kịta ọsọ na-achụ. Ndewo.
Thank you. I think the suggestion will be we'll take all the questions, then we'll address it at once, please.
Okay.
Next person.
More comments. Oh.
Anyway, okay, 191.
Amamoya, still councillor or whichever one. Thank you so much.
Councillor Mibia.
Thank you so much. Maka na ifi narrate ebe anụwa. O nwe ka obi m dị. Obi ewereta obi m adị. Ife njiwe na-ekwu na eje m ụlọ na May 27th of May nata na 17th of June. Ụkwụ m atụrụ na nanka. Ụkwụ m atụrụ na nanka. And it has never happened. Never go over many years. Never happened. Nanjelo no. Where Barapa and Annam, Eben Papa, near Mamma, near Jim, where make you a bama. Can't you cook it? I know. I am in Jumanaya. But no wait is where Kusenya. Where say? All sorts of Chukunama. If you will put an eye Soludo. Now, where one poor Ojegije. Ojegije. Money fed in the money fag and make a way to Zobodai. Where put the bar, Rolokwa and Giwa. We say, Nino go for that no one. You know, go for that. A Wuronya corrupt, no una one. I can name one. You feel no for that no one. Naki, the Luala in Lullaby. And it twice we push Obi, Oburonya Kulo, Snobia, dear Polina. So, even now, say, Biko, Unu Jire Kunusi Jire, Maracho Kwamo. Eto ịkọwalụ kedu plan unu nwere maka ụmụ nwanyị ọ dị m mkpa ịmanụ ma ndị a mụrụ ọgụ maka na o nwee ife m dị n'ala Igbo na-ewute m nnukwu taa ya bụ na ife dịka na akpọrọ nwaanyị ife onye mụọ onye nwunye mụrụ nwaanyị obi ajọchasị anya njọ ọ bụrụ mgbe gboo na ha ka na-eme kịta ha ka na-eme. Yeah, okay. So all the that na if I make education that na education girl child ịmakwụ na ọ dị anyị mkpa onye ọbụla nye kwa ụmụ nwaanyị ọkwa dị ya onye merit ya nọ na ọkwa maka na ọnwụ nwaanyị ga-ejiwere ọkwa nye ya ọ ga-emerit ya o merit wee nye ya so ọ ụmụ ife ka njọ alụ mana unalụ kene ya si na obi dị anyị mma obi dị anyị mma n'ife awa anyị na-asị a ga-emekwara anyị na anyị pụrụ na a ga-eme ya ọ dị m ọkparị nna akachakwa na nka ụlọ ikwutekwuru ya mbuze a na-anara anyị be anyị so etu anụ pụta ndị nọ n'ilo maka na ife mewo na ndị niile bịanụ onye ọbụla ma ndị niile chinụ famụ ife dị n'ụlọ mana onye pụta kwụsị ife o ya eme ọ banye ebe anwa o were oje nje were lụwagodo ọrụ na akpa ya ọrụgide lụrụ na akpa ya olue mgbe ọ ya apụ ọpụa o nwere ife ọ ya alụtara anyị so mana nke anụ ọkịta anụwa o nwere obi si m ike mana na etu a na-akwara ije ụlọ agbabere mgbe ọbata na anabe na ụkwụ m ya eru n'ime so a na-ekene gị daalụ so thank you.
Thank you. Sobani Igbo nwere ife ji
obi nsọ aṅụrị mgbe enyi nne m jụrụ ajụjụ maka inye ndị Anambra even Anambra people in diaspora somewhere na-ebịa rọb kụzie age about ụmụ nwanyị ekele dị obi niile ọ na-ajụzi ka ha na-akpọzi nwanne anyị nwoke mayor condonement of cancer in Anambra we call him CoS Chief of Staff. Ụfọdụ na ma ọ bụrụ na ịfụziri ya ma ukwu owu na ijiji Anambra ya enwe isi daalụ ekele dịrị Chukwu. My question is on the level of education. Is there any way the state is looking into developing a system of education where students will be empowered in terms of vocational knowledge and skill, so that after school, you won't be all looking for employment. They could as well employ themselves.
Thank you.
Oh.
Onye bịa late, okwu ya bịa late.
Ife niile ndị ọzọ kwuru maka obi dị m nnọọ aṅụrị na ife niile m nọ taa dịka Double si kwuo mgbe m jekwala ụlọ the other time o jekwara ọdụ m ruo Nnewi and ọ bụrụ otu ahụ ka m si wee chọọ ibi ndụ m, you know, so I'm really glad ihe gbasara security na-eme oge address. Ma one thing m chọrọ ikwu ịma na I mention a few things banyelu technology, you know, the way we need to enjoy use the way driver. But in my certain things that are happening, I'm more than women into technology, so I'm kind of aware of, you know, what's happening at Yaba. You know, the way you have Yabakan Valley, you know, it's like Silicon Valley, you know, all those kind of hot spots. Anambra should maybe champion one in the East as well, you know, so that abroad, even in Agadi Center in Lagos, our people should also have, you know, an enabling environment to develop their own fintech banks. In all these, you know, Jumia, you know, all these other fintech, whatever. Additional Lagos, we need something as well, and I think Soludo and your cabinet, you will be capable of something like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next one. Can we make it very, very small?
Yeah, because as in Cam can our chief of staff no presentation on here now mboni our able governor na unu na-anya ifo na eweghani ya n'ọrụ bido ọrụ ozugbo and ọrụ a na-alụ abụrụ egwu achị ụtaba n'aka agba ife anyị chọziri ịma bụ kedu etu apart from ime investment kedu etu ọzọ ndị diaspora ga-esi nye aka maka na ife dị n'alụ ahụ na-alụ abụrụ ọsọ ịbịa si were ego ka ya eweta ego does not solve all the problem. Enwe intelligence, enwe capacity, enwe network, enwe logistics. Kedu etu gọvanọ si chọọ ịrụ ọrụ with ndị by nọgasị na diaspora, not just London, US, Europe. Kedu etu e ga-esi kpokọnata ndị Anambra so that anyị na-ekwu okwu ọ na-ada gbam na be anyị. I need to focus n'ife na-eme n'ụlọ. Ọma abụs of social media. Ndị diaspora kwesịrị ịdị strong enough na ife a na-eme be anyị, anyị were force of the diaspora. We can defeat. Kedu project or program our governor will iji local within the diaspora in many more facets?
Thank you.
Now,
ndị be anyị daalụ n'ụwa afọ mbụ Fabian Nwora. Number one, asị nka nkene gọvanọ etu o si wee kaba arụ wa appoint ya one of us as CoS. O gosiri na ife niile anyị na-eme here na ọ dịkwa mkpa, gosikwa na ife niile anyị nwa na-emekwa here dịkwa anyị nche niile mkpa. Having said that, ikeneza gọvanọ nke ọzọ bụ kedu ebe gọvanọ or government of Anambra State chọrọ ka isinye aka. A na-asị investment, achọrọ m ka ọ dị open. Kedu areas of investment achọ so that onye nwere contact na any areas ọ mara ife ọ na-efocus on. Ọ bụ na nwere kịta CoS enidi ọzọ ka isi anya mara ife na-eme na Anambra ịnọkwa dị a. So ịmara ife bụ areas unu need help na ya ime ka ndị mmadụ malụ. Onwe onye nwere assistance in those areas ọ malụ na these are the problems in the Anambra State nwe na ebe a ga-esi wee nye aka.
Okay.
Yes.
I think hold on. Sorry, hold on.
Because I can our chief wepụtara atụmatụ a ọ bụ onye mere ihe ife anyị nọkọ na UK. I think not the first time I nọkọrọ n'ọchịchị ndị chịgoro Anambra steeti. Na-asị thank you so much. Then na-asịkwa ka ị kelela anyị gọvanọ machi ya kịta si ya jide ka o ji na-ekwuola ka onwe ndị si n'azụ mee ka ghara idozi eme ife ọ na-eme kịta. Then mma atụnye aka na field nọ n'obodo a gbasara sekuriti. Ịbịa n'obodo a na be ha dị mma awụ 3 things ka ha ji wee jide. Number 1, the most information. Information may help carrying a security. Number 2, if a bastalo security also ego na carry ideas we're not into it. Then only man if a man will case okay. Because vetting, like all Molike, equal on you see a chirenche, Uzu he never eat the radio. Man on Emma the background, malo deceive, malo if well. Then if you were and all, then the man he was the right person. Then in Keto, I have Baba Mbayo. Come malo the way, and when you kiss you will add in CCTVs. Most of places, because if a man over there, I'll be a machine. They know when they are particular about the candala. If I'm not paying that, it's almost £1,000 per hour. Up to within a May for the major one, within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if any name it's about they may arrest, they will put on the resource thing. So all these things we feel when you get add your belly. Or how I feel I am able to hand and why. If I each do here, I have then never face then if I'm there, they make the decade.
Thank you. So I think before Meha, I'm an audience from online. So one of the questions from online, Bo, you talked about the coconut, the madnaju. 2020 to see. I titled the video "Setting Agenda for Professor Chukwumachao Soludo as regards the cleaning up of Oboko." In that video, from Oboduku Road down to Agwata Street, Mogambo, all those areas. Now, I need to clean up. Apart from removing dirt, Oboko, if you leave Oboduku Road, going into Oboko, there is no single house there that I'm not taller than. No single house. All the houses are sinking in. Now, the question is Oboko going to get only road construction? Or those houses are full now? Uno, you might be looking at them this way. Because I was saying, like this. So, plans govern on maybe to help the landlords to rebuild those places, or again, we like massive house where people maybe have to give away their houses, government will rebuild and they come back and either take some portion. What is the arrangement in rebuilding Oboko actually? And lastly, on security, there are, as one of our brothers said, there are people who are maybe, let's take for instance, someone didn't know the Anambra alone at Google. And one of the ideas how it go, which I believe one of them said is gotten to His Excellency, but it appears it's not been acted on. Bona, Abu Nengwe a crime here, and Abu Nonye committed that crime a cell phone that the government of Anambra State can actually apply to Google. They will ensure that now, Abu na this crime happened 10:20 now. Every telephone that is within maybe 100 radius from that place, they can provide information of the government code is to now water it down. Because again, Abuna, Ihame and Bo, and 50 telephone numbers. Onwakwa something malu na nanka, and when 30 telephone numbers, suddenly, and when one telephone number may appear na Bo, make one nanka. We are closer to something. So, because I will not hire letter, because this thing is very, very, very essential in using technology to find crime. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Dalum, thank you again. Quite lengthy one. But I'm going to the one from Any. What do you want the aspirants to do? I think it's open-ended question. Anambra is in need of people to come in. But as I said, it must be people that's serious, that will bring value to Anambra State. But if you're looking at those specifics, made mention of farming, that there may be, we are looking at cooperative. People from UK may decide to have a cooperative. And you said possibly 50-50p or £1,000 each for a cooperative. What we have been doing is to get lands, because we know the investors will come. Recently, the Oboji community, the kidnapping den in Oboji, where we got rid of the kidnappers, they've donated that land to the state. I think it's about 2,000 hectares. Okay? So, if you look at, I think I forgot to mention about drug consolidated warehouse we are doing in Anambra. Again, it's over 500 hectares of land. Because Obogu has to go. We will have a complete pharmaceutical kind of business, about 2,000 shops in Anambra, so that we will flat Obogu. I'm using that to answer your question. We are going for what we call land back, getting land from communities. Some communities are donating. And we also have loads of land in a Baharian farm settlement. But we need as much land. So if your community have the land they want to give, obviously not on so but communities in the land, we are on it, getting the land, paying compensation, do the due diligence. So farming is a good one, but it has to be, it could be individual, it could be cooperative, it could be Newi, UK, you know. So yes, I'm gonna, we have actually a very vibrant commissioner for lands, Amuchazi, you know. So he is keenly getting these lands, because there will be a lot to do with lands in terms of housing, in terms of infrastructure, rail, everywhere. You must use land to do this development. So, straight question to your answer: estates. We have something on lands, on agri, on rail. So when we do all this profile, we see who are the serious ones, who are the responsible ones, who has to do. So when you're ready, luckily, I'm there. We have opened door. Come down with that, then we follow it up. And I said, one thing I forgot to mention about land, since we are talking about land, we have GIS in Anambra State now. If you want to pay for your land, it's put in a computer, just like what happens in Abuja and I think in Lagos. Easy. We are doing revaluation of some of the lands that have gone through, you know, some kind of back. We are getting them back, and everything we are doing is seamless now, easy. with time, you can even stay here and do your land transaction with state government in Anambra State. So yes, so then the second question was the plan for women in the state and Kate. I'm sure the Commissioner for Women Affairs has a lot doing with women and underaged girls, people who are hawking on the street and all those stuff. So we are doing education awareness to women and getting them into work. I think it might be interesting to know that our head of service is a woman. Obviously, Commissioner for Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, a woman. Commissioner for Education, a woman. That chunk of good number of women in the cabinet. So what we are doing in that sector is actually a big portfolio which Commissioner for Women Affairs is looking into. But the awareness, the education, which is critical, she's on top of those ones. Obviously, doing the what they call it, technology. I forgot now, but I leave that one. But there is a package within the Commissioner for Women Affairs on that. And with the number of women in the cabinet also, there is chances that nothing will slip out of the door where they are there in the cabinet. So education, again, that's part of what we ask. Developing system of education that will be empowering women for education. I think somebody mentioned that you, Benson. The technical education is key in this government. And we are also encouraging apprenticeship. Here, apprenticeship sometimes earn more than people who are worked 2 or 3 or 4 years. So that's one thing the administration, we are revamping all the technical schools. Before, we used to have technical school when we were in secondary school. So those things, government, we are investing a lot of money in technical education. So, and we believe that giving people opportunity for apprenticeship, which we are working with some factories like Ernest and others, is something that the government, and I made mention before, that even Omo Boy will be in their shop as Rabbi, will be planning to get a million naira when they get to, if they scale through. So these are, and it's all technology, going to be technological driven. Because my boy have a shop or so you have your iPad or your phone, it's in your Zoom, you get the ones, you make it the exam. So that's the Anambra is coming to be, should be a digital village. It won't take time. We've started with a good footing. So that's the investment we are doing in education. Somebody mentioned number 4 was about fiber optics, and I think it's part of the education. So we have a very fantastic young man who is MD on ICT. So he jargon on fiber optics, Anambra cloud, and I think that's your question. So I think you're in the same area with him. We want to get speed fiber optics internet in Anambra State, because all these things we are saying, schools need to have those. CoS now, because at the moment we are setting up, I think we've approved to have not mobile CoS, but the CoS will stay here. Virtual. That's the one, virtual CoS. So all these things will not happen without technology. So we are on top of getting technology as heart of everything we are doing. Everything technology in Anambra State. That is where we are driving the government program. 5, I think, Benson actually asked you, how will governor want to use the talents in diaspora? I think Mr. Governor has already started picking on the talents. I think myself being in government is one of them, and I think there's another guy now picking people. So I know we are all super talented in our different fields. But remember, Anambra is that population of about 8 million. So how many people will be in the government? So the talent we have in diaspora is something that this administration wants to complete. And it could be pro bono, which the government always saying. It could be serving in the government with a recommendation what you can do for the government, the extra or added value you can add. This is one good thing with Mr. Governor. It's open. It's open on the table. That you have to come down for interview and if it's remotely. If you merit it, straight. It is not doing this because of Mr. A or Miss B. So the talent in diaspora is something that we must use. Looking at almost how many million the diasporans contribute in Nigerian economy. So I will say that if there's anything you're doing as a diaspora that you think that will benefit Anambra State, tap onto me. I'm sure Mr. Governor, most of us must have his number because KK people, if anything happening in a car, KK people rings and he picks or he respond on WhatsApp. And he got only one number. KK people, shuttle bus, everybody got his number. So that's one good thing about Mr. Governor. So not to talk of your talent in engineering, your talent in law, your talent in business. That is what we want, and I'm sure that you will be happy to open the discussion. We're also planning to have a diaspora, Anambra diaspora day, which should be supposed to be in August, but it's now pushed to September, which Mr. Governor will be at that event. So I will expect when that date is confirmed that this is the kind of question that he would like to take up. But on my capacity, yes, if you have anything you want to, the talent you want to bring it on, it has to go through the process. But if it fits in that process, he will take it immediately. Right. The next one actually is the specific area of investment farm. I made mention maybe before you came in, Anambra is just like a virgin place. We've not started there. So if you're looking for specific areas, electricity will be one of the key ones. Entertainment, I made mention that we are opening up our agro-land. Everyone can join there. I think there are lots of businessmen who are on the queue already. Because obviously it's gonna be a money yielding place. The one in Asaba, I think they have theme park in Asaba at the moment. So everybody now in the shop moves to weekend. And people are now aware of having a relaxed life weekend. There used to be Calabar. Everybody wants to. So why should people, the population of Foundation, troop into Calabar, troop into theme park in Abo? Why can't we make this revenue in Anambra State? And that's our target. So in terms of specific areas of investment, tourism is key. Obuni Keke is waiting. Who will come in? Owerezuka waterfall is looking who? Come on. Not to talk of every other thing. So we have tourism. I doubt if there's any street in Anambra State where you have pipe-borne water. No. No. It's not about about what you call it, digging borehole everywhere. No. It's not sustainable. So again, specific area of investment. I think we've got lots of people who want to do waste to wealth. The tons of waste we are generating in Anambra State has to be recycled, reused. So again, it's a specific. So there are lots of areas of interest. We've not done anything, to be honest. So it's a virgin place. Come with your investor. Unfortunately, we don't have that bucket of money. So if you have investors that are willing to invest with a reasonable money, that's where we need to put it. Then you make your money as you go. Because all these things, for the target will be the footfall. When we open up Brent, how many people comes to Brent? How many? Handful. But with 90,000 people coming to Wembley Stadium every weekend for football, and they'll come, finish, go, then bring council obviously will do the cleanup. No, it's not sustainable. What you need to do, what we want to do, how do we strategically hold that 90,000 people? That was our strategic plan. Well, that was 2030. How do we hold this 90,000 people? Then we started building hotels. Some of the hotels are 2, 2, and 3, 3. Premier Inn, we have about 2 here, and others. So that will be the strategy you want in Anambra State. So that when you're coming with investors, your return for profit is assured. Because the footfall, number of people coming from outside, from Lagos, to come to down to the airport, down to Agro, and other areas. Our ICC center, International Conference Center. So those would be specific areas you need to invest. On CCTV, yes, we've said a lot about our journey about securing Anambra State, the security in Anambra State. Those are more of kinetic and conventional security. So we are getting to that stage that, yes, CCTV is important. But obviously, for CCTV to work, you need either solar or electricity. So to capture that. So that's why there are ones that will come first. Then this one's, but we need them in all the hotspots areas. So, and that's why we are looking at those technology that we may not wait till we get 24 hours electricity in Anambra State. So, CC, and we have very fantastic special advisor to governor security, well experienced, Chobi, retired Air Vice Marshal. So, if you have something to give or deliver on that, put your call through to me. I will put you through to retired Air Vice Marshal Chobi, and he will go through along with you. And our Homeland Commissioner for Homelands as well. So, question from online on coconut. How do they register to get the coconut? We have a dedicated email from the Ministry of Agri. I'll communicate to you. Unfortunately, I don't have it on my head, but I'll communicate that so that we'll share it online. Then you travel to Oboduku and all those areas with the shanties. I think the best word to describe it is shanties on that slot. Yes, if we are starting on roads, obviously we're gonna go on housing, recreation areas. It's only in Anambra, not in Anambra, maybe Anambra and some other states. You build 4-story building everywhere. There's nowhere people, kids will go and play. If I move from here now to make about 100 about 1 mile, you see 1 or 2 or 3 recreation center parks. So that it's only in our place that so yeah, but these are the new journey Anambra State. We will have parks. I think I forgot to mention. We are saying Oboduku now. I will use the opportunity to say what we are doing in demolishing buildings that people build and drainage, blocking of drainage. Mangen, Sakamori drains. We knocked down, obviously, sad, but it's the truth. We have to say church, 2, 3 churches, individual houses. Yes, because if you remember 2 years or 3 years ago, 3 young chaps, staff of UBA, after work, driving them, big rain, and they drowned in their car because people have blocked the drains. Will you block drain in UK? No way, because you have to go through planning permission and this and that before you build. But our people is a jungle, people just build and they drain. So, but we are. This is a new order. They give you permission, let's see it. If you don't provide it, we knock it down, unfortunately. Because we want to create this livable and prosperous homeland. Yes, we have to. It is sad, but we have to do it now. we want to build, let's say 2-3 years. In a type of park, we will do it. If you build a big, because those cities were master plan. I want the master plan. We want to this plot or for recreation center. We will bring it down and build a recreation center. So Oboduku, as you said, sorry, Ogboko. We are not just building road in Obodu. In Ogboko. We will do complete regeneration of Ogboko. And I think probably the last ones. Yes, I mean we will be glad. The government will be glad to work with our people who works in Google and such places. So if they're having issues in getting through to facilitate that, please, please give them my email or my phone. As I said, KK people has governor's phone number. Part of my own. It's unfortunate here in the system here. Public officers, their phone number, their email, and their photo down, they're all online. So, but we are getting there. There will be a time that you want to check Ernest Ezeajughi, Chief of Staff to Professor Soludo. You just type it. You see my name, my email, and my phone number. We are getting there. You know that. Yeah. I know that. It's only, I think it was last week they removed my own from Brent. But if you want to check on Mayor Kate, you just type Enfield, Mayor Kate. We are public servants, and that's what we should be. So, please send the people on Google. We will be very, very glad to hear from them. And I think that sums it up. Take home message. We are ready in Anambra State to change Anambra to a livable and prosperous life. We want everybody to be on there. Yeah, I think she wants to ask question. Are you still asking your question? If not, we wrap up. Okay.
You still want to?
Yes. I just want to say thank you.
Oh yeah. Say to the camera.
Thank you for saying thank you.
Okay. I just want to say.
Sorry.
Okay. Hi, my name is Blessing. I just want to say thank you, a very big thank you to our CoS. At least you have a short time. You came into UK and you have time to talk to us. It's a very big thing. And also now we're not thinking, what is the government doing? We know now what is available, where we are, and where we're going. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for coming. We really appreciate it. It's a very short notice, but you all came out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take the plan. Anambra State invested even after Lagos. So everywhere is open already. And but I cannot get today to have people my advice, yeah, we will work for more security. Because all these things in the book make it fast. Without you, Muhammad Yada, I will do that stuff. But what do you do security? I am coming. Because listen, I am coming. You live here, I always go to Anambra State. So I'm on that no one here was sorry, they those security in Anambra. I want the other level. But I want them you should have more on security. I'm being sincere to you. I'm not against you going to the police houses. You should do all those ones because I was in the flag and the lack of but I don't need them much security now. Them hacking.
Like someone mentioned that for half number of try too much. And with such technology addresses, it's been there. And the government can tap on it as okay. Don't say so your government have a number, how much a number, they'll be able to get those things. And not be very, very easy to do all these things. Because he can work with the UX, the chairman of the bank here, PGs, and they will begin to register everybody with his number. And we can now, it's not even going to cost the state nothing, because obviously I don't understand where it goes. And they've actually made to move forward. So one agent then the money, each town, or don't not be a member of that town, should go and register himself. Take for example, Never became an ID card. I don't ID card, his picture will be there, his phone number will be there, whatever, and the PG of the village, because Never is 5G, of the village, when those details in their system. Okay, go when the hard copy on register, or when the system, and to call and for state to have such central system will not cost nothing. Okay. So, and when your own name issue, any digital they can match that phone number on the system. Because okay, na so in answer that nature of the market, nobody is going to invest his money. Oh nobody, but in Anambra, we have too much money. All these things in the nation really. Only for them we do it at Anambra State. So I have to move forward because I never be able. Man, go on here, say about my na. Say go general. There's all this young yet again. So more yet, let's see what we do. I say for I mean, I'm happy. I'm going to but equity on this security issue. As of the one. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Okay. I close Nikan di said, okay, good after. Yes.
If you know where I am on you, but when they work them. It's all great work that in the Naga. But you lay boss, they're back again. I can. Oh, the back here. You go back and where? I want them to go. I don't know what. Okay, this. Go to the street of it. Okay. So, Obita water in there. Also, an issue. I could when the chairman well not go low. A boy, you know. Dr. Mike, many people never pay very much. Let's have one. You go for all the people. I work to talk about the ball, who know yes, where yeah, to the line and why not buy the teacher. Now, can't do no rap. Then one night, okay, to be a do now in the who shape my not by COS Ezeajughi to be a do over the way and then. But you were about women. The West Gilly wish you what a minute halfway. Why a blue, not blue, or is only I wish me at us. Manako upon you may your friend. Governor Iron upon all in Iron Yatikama is about way. You're already on here. Double mayor of Brent. You know? Even in the inauguration, one Tadina and man of there now will listen. Because let me not bore you with speeches, but I'm the CEO and founder. Need the digital UK. So I learn how to because when I say, oh, Kachuku, because I need I do no go marry. What boy, yeah. I do any name we were drawn this is why you can run. I need to when I get to work in it. Even money in on it, but I now I Jesus Christ away.
Okay, now just a blessing because if I don't do contribute now, yeah, so he did it well. So all I can do is the final blessing. And the peace of the Lord, which passes all understanding, keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge and the love of God and of His Son Jesus Christ our Lord. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit be with you and remain with you now and always.
Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord.